Have you ever just stopped and wondered how some groups inspire such incredible die-hard loyalty? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the psychological architecture they use to win over hearts and minds. We are going to take apart the well-oiled machine that drives that deep, deep human commitment. Okay, let's just dive right in. Have you ever looked at a political movement, a religious group, or even a super intense corporate culture and just thought, why? Why do people go all in, giving their time, their money, their energy for beliefs that, from the outside looking in, might seem kind of strange? It's a huge human puzzle, and today we're going to put the pieces together. So, what's the secret? It's not what you might think. It's not about paying people off or forcing them. The real key, the answer to this whole puzzle, is how these groups are expertly built to tap into things we all crave on a fundamental level: a sense of purpose, a real community, and a little bit of certainty in a chaotic world. To really get this, we need to be on the same page about what we're talking about. The term is an ideological organization, basically any group built to spread a set of beliefs. But here is the absolute crucial part. They don't use paychecks and they don't use threats. They work by leveraging human psychology. That's the machine we're looking at today. And you know what? This method is wildly efficient. Instead of having a massive payroll, these organizations get enormous things done. They get people to vote, to donate, to volunteer, all without breaking the bank. The deal they offer is just that powerful. You give us your commitment, and in return, we give you a profound sense of purpose and a place where you truly belong. So how in the world is this machine actually built? Well, it's not random, that's for sure. The most successful groups, the ones that last, almost always follow a surprisingly consistent blueprint. It's a core structure that's actually pretty simple but incredibly powerful. Let's lay it out. The whole thing really boils down to three core parts: the source, the behavior, and the organization. You can think of these as the essential, interconnected gears of the machine. Let's break down exactly what each one does. First up, you've got the source. This is the heart of it all. It could be a sacred text, a political manifesto, a founding document, you name it. Its most important job is to give people the emotional reason to act. It's the why. It makes people feel like what they're doing really, truly matters. Next up is the behavior. This is where those big ideas from the source get turned into actual, stuff you do. We're talking about the specific actions the group wants from its members. Maybe it's praying, maybe it's protesting, maybe it's donating or volunteering. This is where the ideology becomes real and tangible. And finally, the third piece is the organization. This is the structure on the ground. The local chapters, the congregations, the neighborhood teams. This is where new people are brought into the fold, where the rules are taught and reinforced, and where everyone is held accountable to the group. It's the framework that keeps the whole system humming along. Okay, so we've got the blueprint: source, behavior, and organization. But what's the fuel that actually powers this engine? That brings us to the real secret sauce: the four psychological hooks that make this structure so unbelievably effective. Right. What makes this framework so good at grabbing our attention and keeping our loyalty? It's not magic. It comes down to a really deep understanding of four key things that make us tick as human beings. These four hooks all work together. First, predictability. We humans love knowing the rules of the game. It makes us feel safe and secure. Second, feedback. We need to feel like our contributions matter, that someone is noticing. Third, group activities. Doing things together, whether it's a rally or a service, builds powerful social bonds. And finally, advancement. The chance to climb the ladder and gain status keeps the most dedicated members motivated and engaged. Okay, that all sounds good in theory, right? But let's make it real. We can see this machine working perfectly if we apply this exact blueprint to one of the most successful and long-lasting ideological organizations in all of human history. We're going to take a look at the Christian Church. Now, let's set aside personal faith for just a moment and look at it purely from an organizational standpoint. As a structure, it is an absolute masterclass in this psychological blueprint. So, what's the source? Easy: the New Testament. It provides that core set of ideas, the moral framework, and that deep emotional why for belonging and for taking action. And the behavior? Well, that translates into very specific, repeatable actions: attending Mass, tithing or donating money, and engaging in prayer. These are the rituals that consistently reinforce the core ideology. And the organization? That would be the thousands upon thousands of local parishes all over the world. It's this local, face-to-face community that really solidifies everything, turning abstract beliefs into a lived, shared reality. The entire blueprint is right there, and, well, it's been working for 2,000 years.
And here's the really fascinating part. This blueprint isn't just about religion. Once you see this pattern, source, behavior, organization, you can't unsee it. It is everywhere. You'll see it in political parties, with their manifestos and local campaign offices. You'll see it in nonprofits, with their mission statements and volunteer groups. You'll even see it in powerful corporate cultures and passionate activist movements.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The next time you see a simple campaign ad or get a flyer for a charity drive, just remember, there's often a whole lot more going on beneath the surface. There's probably a well-oiled psychological machine designed to engage you at a very fundamental level. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have the blueprint, now that you know what to look for, where are you going to see this machine at work next? If you start looking, I promise you'll find it all over the place.